This is your Seattle Housing Market Watch. It is January 9th, Thursday of 2025, and this is the first Seattle Housing Market Watch of the year. Welcome. It is now 2025, and we're on the first market watch for Seattle of the beginning of the year. Let's start off the year with those interest rates. So today the interest rate for a 30-year fixed is at 7.15%. That is down just slightly from yesterday, but definitely up from where we saw it in December. So the thing with interest rates is that they are a big lever. You've heard me say it before. They're a big lever in the housing market and what's going to happen. So when we were in the end of November, we saw rates below 7% at about 6.81. And the first week of December, we started to see those go back up into the 7 range. So now we are still well above 7%. Will the interest rate come down? You know, this is a prediction that we could sit here all day and try to talk about. But the truth is that when the interest rate will come down, or when it does come down, hopefully it does, the buyers in the market will have more buying ability. They'll have more power to buy, they'll have a higher budget, and that's what's really going to accelerate the market, specifically in Seattle. Now, we are seeing buyers still out there, and they're still having transactions, they're still purchasing, but they understand that it's going to be a little bit more costly, at least for the short term. So a lot of buyers are negotiating credit from the seller to either buy that rate down or cover some of those costs. So if you are selling this year, one thing you need to be aware of is you will have fewer buyers than when the rates were at 5% or lower, and you'll also have buyers who want to negotiate a bit more. Now, this is especially true for the condo market in Seattle, but it's also true for single-family homes and if you've been sitting on the market for a while. So all of that to say the 15-year fixed is a little bit lower. It's at 6.51% today. And for VA and FHA loans, those are hovering around 6.5% as well for 30 years. So the interest rate is not really working in the buyer's favor right this minute, but we are hopeful that as we get into this year, as we see inflation come down or come back to a reasonable level, hopefully we will see that interest rate also come down and lower a little bit. So when the economy is getting more expensive, when there are people out and inflation is higher, the interest rate is going to be higher. When the economy gets better and is doing really well, the interest rate could come down and spur more buying. So that's kind of how that works. So right now we're watching this to see what happens this year, because it's going to be impactful to you if you are buying or selling in the market right now. Now let's go with a little story again, talking through some of the things that are happening specifically on our team in the Seattle market. One of our team's clients just closed on a brand new construction home this week, and so that was a really exciting time. They actually got a $30,000 credit from the builder on that purchase. So to give you an idea, they used some of that money towards our closing costs and to buy down the rate. So that's a really good deal for a buyer, a brand new home that they're getting into. Now, another client of our team just got into contract again on a brand new home that's just being built. It's a townhome style. And that one, they were able to negotiate $20,000 in credit. So there are negotiations out there happening. Right now, we're negotiating on a contract that hopefully will get the buyer $15,000 in credit. So these negotiations are happening. Again, that seller credit is being used to buy down their interest rate for the payments, 2-1 temporary buy down, or even to go towards their closing costs. So it's less money for a buyer out of pocket. We are seeing showings pick up. We do have listings in Capitol Hill as well as Westlake or South Lake Union area, and those showings have all picked up since the beginning of the year. More buyers coming through. So that's really a good sign of the market to come, I would say, and what's going to happen. Now let's turn to the stats of the real estate market in general in Seattle. So let's talk first about the condo listings. Condo listings were up in terms of new listings this week by 15. They were at 90 new listings in the Seattle area over the past 7 days. Pending listings down by 32 week over week, and then sold listings down by 53. Of course, the beginning of the month, we don't expect a lot of homes to close, so that makes sense that that's down. The new listings being up for condos is an exciting thing for condos. Although there is a lot of inventory already out there for buyers to purchase, this shows that some sellers are coming to market, and buyers, you're going to have options to choose from this year, which is really exciting. Now, when we talk about the number of residential homes in terms of new listings, this is also up by 12 this week. Over the past 7 days, there are 156 new homes that hit the market. This again is really exciting. It's showing that there is some inventory coming for those buyers who are out there looking. Sellers, this is a really important number to pay attention to because this is your competition. Now, 156 new listings in 7 days is very low. We expect this to climb to over 1,000 new listings in 7 days in the Seattle area when we get to months like March, April, May. And that's when sellers, you are going to have a lot of competition, but you will also have buyers in the market. One thing to be aware of if you are thinking about listing your home this year is that oftentimes there are buyers who are ready to go at the very beginning of the year and they are waiting for that inventory. And so when it hits the market, often buyers will compete against each other because those new homes are exciting. They're the best ones that are coming to the market that given week. And so buyers are ready to go after those. As we get into those months like March, April, May, buyers have often seen a lot of homes. They may have already bid on a lot of homes and been outbid. So they can get a little tired of the bidding process, and that can cause some buyer lag. It causes the buyers to really think about, do I want to make an offer or am I going to be competing again? And so sellers, you do have more competition at that time, and that's something to be aware of. For you buyers, once you start to see some of those other buyers get a little lethargic about making offers, that can be a good time to go in and be strategic about getting an offer in on the home that you love, and maybe you'll be the only one. Now, this week, the number of pending listings for residential in Seattle is down by 110. That's at 236 pending. And the number of closings down by 99 at 190. So number of sold listings is still outpacing the number of new listings in a given week. So that definitely shows that more are going under contract than are on the market. So it is a tight market still. It's still difficult for a buyer to get into a home, but there are great opportunities in the market right now. If you're like other people that have seen us on YouTube for a long time, or you've been following along and you're thinking about your 2025 real estate goals, we would love and be honored to help you start thinking about those plans and to start strategizing. Even if you're thinking about a sale or a purchase in the next 6 to 12 months, now is the time to start thinking about how to get ready for that and for us to create a strategy going forward. Reach out. You can either call, text, or email us to set up a free, no obligation consultation over Zoom, and we'll talk through the process and what your goals are for this year. Thanks for tuning in this week, and we'll see you again next week.